So the big reason I like the Crown and some of these lesser tournaments is I really feel like being tuned in to the sport like matters, right? Like you need to know motivation, who's going to play, all of that stuff. Like you can assume in the NCAA tournament, everyone's going to give their best effort, but in a tournament like this, you really kind of need to know what's going on with each team. Now, I do think some of the roster stuff is probably baked into the number here. Arizona State's going to be down a whole bunch of guys. BJ Freeman left the team back in February. Joseph Sanon's now on St. John's. He's not going to play. Quintance is likely not going to play either. They're big. I'm hearing they could have maybe 7 players for this game, maybe 8. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to come, show up, and give an effort. But I do think they might have a hard time against Nebraska knowing sort of who they're going to miss. So I think Arizona State's going to be very jump shot reliant here. Nebraska does a really good job at denying the rim. And when you take guys like Sanon, who can get to the rim out, Quintance is kind of the main big. I do think this turns into Arizona State just launching up a lot of tough shots. Not necessarily what you want, in my opinion, against Nebraska. On the other side, you probably without Raleigh Worcester for Nebraska, but other than that, they seem to have everyone. And from what I can kind of tell, there's some upperclassmen on this roster. It feels like they might take this a little bit more seriously than maybe the average team in this tournament. So I didn't see a ton of line value here, Prez, at 5.5. I do think some of this stuff is priced in, but I won't really be surprised if Nebraska kind of wins this easily. Maybe you can, use their money line with something if you're looking for a money line piece, but I would lean toward Nebraska. I don't think this one's going to make my card, but certainly a lean toward Nebraska just having too much for the Sun Devils. You have to handicap these with the info that and try to make a number. So we know Thomas Sorber is not going to play for Georgetown. He hasn't been with the team. He hasn't played since mid-February. We know he's out. On the Washington State side, it looks like Nate Calmace and one of the Isaiah Watts, the 2 guards, are going to be out for Washington State. So I made the number 3.5 with those things sort of baked in. The big key here to this handicap is going to be Micah Peavy on the Georgetown side, whether he's going to play or not. I don't think anyone truly knows, Prez, to be honest with you. I don't think anyone truly knows if he's playing tonight or not. Right. But I will go as far as to say that my 3.5 number has him in. So, I'm willing to play Washington State at 3.5 with him in. If he doesn't play, that's just a huge bonus to me. And I think it would be really bad for Georgetown if he's out. Pretty much anytime Georgetown hasn't had Sorber this year, they've looked like a pretty bottom sort of power conference team. You take Sorber and Peavy out, and I just don't think that they're going to be able to win this game. Now, on the Washington State side, the 2 guards that they're missing are not super, yes, they both are double-digit scorers, but they're not vital to what Washington State wants to do offensively. Washington State runs their offense through their bigs. And the thing is, they're a good 3-point shooting team. Believe it or not, it's the bigs that shoot the threes better. These are Calmace and Watts. Neither are great 3-point shooting team or 3-point shooters. So you're going to have a couple freshman guards back there playing extended minutes, but their job is going to be to get the ball to the bigs, run their offense as they would. So I don't think that this hurts Washington State a ton. This is a team, Prez, 12th nationally in field goal percentage, 49.1% from the field. They play through their bigs. They want to get a lot toward the rim. I think it's going to be kind of business as usual here for Washington State. Yes, they're still down a couple players, but not like it's going to be for Georgetown. If they're without Peavy, I think they really struggle. And with him, I don't know that they should be favored. So I took 3.5 here, Washington State, 3% play. And I guess we'll see how the day goes. I might bump this up to 4 if the number's still there.
Adam Trigger, everyone. Outstanding work and congratulations on your great run. What do you got to promote, my brother?
Yeah, so I have a 6-game winning streak going in college basketball. I'm also 9-4 on my last 13 5% plays. I do have a 5% play in the Crown in one of the afternoon games. So go ahead over right now and get that. That's in one of the early Crown games today. And again, it's been a really good sort of run the last couple weeks, college hoop, specifically in these lesser tournaments. I went 5-1 in the CBI. I've won in the NIT. I've been kind of waiting for the Crown to start for 2 weeks and got the spot that I wanted. So 5% play goes a little bit later today. WT.buzz/AT. We'll go for 7 straight college hoop winners this afternoon.